Hello people, I am Jaby Koay, joined by Nina Bergman. She is a guest on my channel, and in the movies, she is an actress. She does a lot of movies all the time. You have a movie coming out soon?
I do.
Doom?
Annihilation.
Doom Nukem. No, that's not it. Doom Annihilation. Doom Annihilation is the film coming out. She is in that. She's also got a long list of IMDb credits. You know who you look like to me? I mentioned this in the American video we just did. You look like the chick from Ralph Breaks the Internet and Wreck-It Ralph. The blonde chick who's like in the Starship Troopers or StarCraft looking world. That broad.
Oh!
She's a badass. Yeah, that's who you remind me of. She's got the eyeliner and everything. Look at that. Blonde hair.
She's like that crooked smile.
Yeah, like that. I'm almost willing to bet that was based on you.
I wish I had was a little more like her on top, you know, and then a little less in the waist like her. But,
you have no waist. You have no waist. Are you kidding me?
No, I'm just like this. Like
You have
she's
no
actually
waist.
like, she's like that.
You can find Nina Bergman in such hits as Boomer Hogs, Lost and Found, and Rebels.
And Call of Duty.
And Call of Duty?
Yeah, I play Battery in Call of Duty.
Oh, okay, there you go. I was making fun with the other films. I didn't know what those were. Call of Duty.
Yeah.
And Assassin X. Nani's Gang Leader, the trailer is what we're looking at. It's starring Nani, Karthikeya, Priyanka Arul Mohan, Lakshmi Saryana, Anish Kuruvilla, and Priya Darshi. It's directed by Vikram Kumar, and the music is by Anirudh Ravichander. So, let's check this out.
Wow, interesting.
The truth. I said I want the truth.
Is he a subtitle maker?
Oh my god, this is awesome.
అతని ఆలోచనలో ఎంత పగ ఉంటుంది రసీదుని చంపు చాలా మంచి పుస్తకం ఇది దేని బుక్ పూర్తి చదివారు కానీ ఈ రసీదు అనేది తెలియదు
మామా రసీద్ అంటే బిల్ కిల్ బిల్ అనే మూవీ అది
ఆగస్ట్ అక్షరాలు తింటాం చరిత్ర పుస్తకాలు ఒప్పుకుంటాం
ఒక రివెంజ్ ఒక ఫేమస్ రైటర్ ఫిల్మ్ చేస్తాడు అనేదే కదా
Looks like a music video. This is cool.
నా పుస్తకాల్లో హీరోలు ఎప్పుడు కూడా ఇలాంటి ఒక పెద్ద బోర్డు కొని దాని మీద కేసుకు సంబంధించిన పేపర్ కట్టింగ్ అన్ని అంటించి 2 నిమిషాలు ఆలోచిస్తే చాలా క్లూ దొరికేస్తుంది 2 రోజుల నుంచి ఆలోచిస్తున్నాను క్లూ కాదు కదా తలనొప్పి చేస్తాను
ప్లాన్ ఏంటి
ప్రపంచంలో ఎంతటి మగాడిని అమ్మాయి చేయగలిగే ఒకే ఒక్క పవర్ఫుల్ వెపన్ అమ్మాయి
నేను వెళ్తాను
ఫస్ట్ టైం నీ లైఫ్ లో ఒక ఒరిజినల్ స్టోరీ రా
ఇది జరిగించు తెలుసా
అవునవును నువ్వు టైప్ చేసినట్టే జరుగుతుంది
మనం వెతుకుతున్న 6వ వాడు 5 ఆడవాళ్ళు వాళ్ళతో ఒకడు యుద్ధానికి సిద్ధంగా అండి సమర సంఘం నేను
This is cool.
Wow.
I'm definitely feeling this movie.
It's different.
Yeah, I mean, it's got a lot of different elements going on, including like family and action. It's almost like an action version of Stranger Than Fiction.
సైకో కిల్లర్ జోనర్ లోకి వెళ్ళేలా మొదలెట్టాం
Nice.
Oh. Wow.
This is one of those. Okay, so all right. There's a lot of South Indian action films that are over the top, but they're just over the top and you sort of just accept it. Obviously, I'm not being specific with a region. I'm just kind of generically saying South Indian. And there's a lot of people who comment saying that they don't like when I do that, but it's just easier for me in terms of communicating with you guys what I'm trying to say. There are South Indian regional films from India that have this over the top action and you just sort of accept it, like almost like the way you accept it in Fast and Furious. Like you see The Rock or Dwayne The Rock Johnson kind of lifting a sink out of the wall, which is kind of impossible, right? He's not a superhero, but it's treated like one in that movie. You see that a lot in these regional Indian action films, over-the-top action films. I have to specify because there's 2 different kinds. Here, it's over-the-top action, but they sort of justify it in a way because it's through his perspective. He's this guy who watches a lot of movies. He's absorbing a lot of content all the time, and I guess mostly American films. He's basically plagiarizing people, American films and turning it into his books. He's a fraud. But because he's watched so much, it's almost like that, there's a movie I watched with Raw 2.0. Achara, do you remember the film I watched with Ricky, the first one? Drishyam. Is it Drishyam? Okay, it's Drishyam. Thank you. I didn't need to ask her. I knew it. It was there. I just needed to wait. Okay, Drishyam. In Drishyam, the main guy is someone who watches a lot of movies. His method of deduction comes from watching movies, right? And that's how he figures out what to do and how to solve these cases. And so here, it's like that, but it's a comedy.
Yeah.
And you have these women, like they were featured a little bit less in this trailer than the previous one, but they seem like a very fun aspect of the film. This crew of women he's got. And so for me, it's almost like Stranger Than Fiction without the magical element. Because Stranger Than Fiction was about Will Ferrell and I forgot her name. She was in Hook and a bunch of movies. Emma Thompson. That film had this magical thing where Will Ferrell's life was being written. But here it's the reverse where they are literally writing their fiction and it's playing out. Which is super cool. They're writing an action story and they're living out the action story at the same time. Anyway, what do you feel about this? I've been talking nonstop.
No, I'm not as familiar
Obviously.
with the Indian movies.
I thought you were Indian when I first saw you. What a scam! What a jip!
No, it's the fake
Leave
contact
now,
lenses,
Nina
that's
Bergman.
what it is.
Actually, there are probably Indians that look kind of like you. It's crazy. There's
you
a
know,
wide variety of Indians.
Can I just say something? My Russian grandmother is a gypsy because my father's Russian.
Is that an ethnicity? Gypsy?
Gypsy, yeah, but gypsies originates from India. So my grandmother have like that beautiful dark skin, the full lips, the big eyes, the long black hair, and I don't know what happened to me.
You're like, I want to be Indian.
I want to be Indian. I want to get like the beautiful,
Everybody does.
Yes.
That's why white people are getting dark these days. They're just throwing themselves in an oven and coming out orange. Don't do that, Nina Bergman. You look fine as you are. How did you feel about this, though?
My favorite was the way it was shot.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was cool.
I loved it. To me, it looked actually like a Tony Scott kind of movie.
It did have that vibe to
Yeah.
it, but it's a musical, so it's going to have music video type elements.
Yeah, it is a musical.
Yeah, you kind of got excited and threw your head around when it said musical on the screen.
But they didn't sing.
Well, they didn't show the music video elements, but they do. There are music video elements in the film. If I had to guess, based on the average length of Indian films, it's probably gonna be 2.5 to 3 hours, and you'll have a couple of music videos throughout the film somewhere. So at least a couple of songs, at least a few. The crazy action element where things kick into high gear are gonna come at the 1.5 hour mark after the interval, because Indian films have intervals. The first 1.5 hours is setting everything up. He's a fraud. He does this. He's got this crew of women, and then you reveal who the eventual antagonist is, and then the last 1.5 hours is when they actually have to deal with that antagonist.
So like an intermission kind of thing.
Intermission, yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, no, I would actually watch this. I mean, when they came with the sunglasses and they're like walking in slow motion, I was like, okay, I'm in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You got the opening of Reservoir Dogs in there, basically.
We're women.
Yeah,
With badass
with women, yeah.
Indian women taking their
exactly.
power back.
The great thing is they're not like movie star looking women. They're just
No.
like normal, aunties, moms, kids looking,
I like that.
women. And I think that's awesome. Putting them into an action setting to me is super cool.
That's what I fell for.
They're just
Look
real.
like moms.
Yeah.
Right?
Well,
Yeah.
they're just real people dealing with very larger than life real shit.
Yeah.
Like things go crazy. But one moment I loved, because you have a lot of different elements in here. He was like, I've been thinking for 2 days, and instead of getting a clue, I got a headache. And
Yeah.
To me, that's kind of hilarious, because if you've ever tried writing anything, sometimes you get stuck and it's just so frustrating in your head. You just do your own head in, and you go into this state of depression because like you've been thinking so hard about this little thing that in the grand scheme of things probably doesn't matter, and you should just blow past and come back to later. But you kind of get stuck and fixated on these things, and it hurts your head. I can relate. I'll get stuck while writing just trying to figure out people's names. It's so stupid. I could just put character A, character B, character C, and then keep moving, but I get caught up on the actual name. It's really silly.
It's called perfectionism.
Yes, it's
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes, my audience
Yes.
knows that about me very, very
Oh,
well.
they do? I even
Yes.
like the title font. It feels like any American movie. Like the way it's edited, the way it's color corrected, all of it. I
Yeah.
mean, this would be an American movie.
Yes.
Like the standards, everything just holds up. It's beautifully shot. It's super creative. The composition, whoever their DP is, obviously knows what they're doing.
Yeah, I really appreciate the DPs in the regional Indian cinemas. Like,
they're amazing?
Yeah, they have some really, really cool DPs. It's jealousy inducing because they have some really nice DPs. The meticulous time they take in India right now to get the shot is so different from how we do it now. Everything we do now is just like this shaky cam business, and there's less composition now unless you're dealing with like David Fincher, you know, or a director like him, like Spike Jonze or Tarsem. Well, Tarsem's,
Ridley Scott.
Tarsom's actually Indian, but Ridley Scott,
Very epic, yeah.
But although I haven't watched one of his movies in a while, so. Are you friends with Ridley Scott?
His editor, who has edited all of his movies.
I love
Pedro.
Ridley Scott. Ridley Scott's amazing. My favorite director of all time.
Hey, you know, Gladiator was. I'm not afraid to say it. Gladiator is one of my favorite movies, and I've seen it like 15 times. There, you have it. It's like that kind of level, the way they shot it, the compositions. It's beautiful.
Anyways, you guys, do let us know your feelings in the comments below. We'd love to hear what you think. How do you feel about this trailer versus the previous trailer? I like both of them, but they give me different feelings. They give me a different sense as to what's going on. But I would like to know which one you guys like more. Check out Nina Bergman, not only on the social media, but in her upcoming movie, Doom, not Patrol, but Doom, not Infinite. Doom Annihilation. No one was thinking Infinite. I was thinking Infinite earlier, and I just kind of screwed myself up. It's in my head now. It's Doom Infinite.
Should I just write
It's
it on your
Infinite
hand?
Doom. It's like, it's not Doom Nukem, but Doom. I'm familiar with Doom 64. That's the video game.
Why don't we just say Doom 2?
Actually,
You can remember that.
I bought Doom for PS4. Are you in the game? You're not in the game.
No, I tried to play it for the first time. You know, when you put those
VR goggles on.
and I freaked out because I wanted to experience it before I went and actually had to shoot
This
the
is
demons.
hilarious because Nina Bergman's like a badass. You used to be well, I'll get into her other stuff in another video where it's relevant, but Nina Bergman's got quite the profile. So, all right, you guys, thanks so much for hanging out. I'm Jaby Koay. This is
Nina Bergman.
Peace out.